let's look at another example of solving by substitution. So the hint, remember, is that we want to look for a variable that has a coefficient of 1 or -1. So as we look at this problem, it looks like the x in that equation is a smart idea. So we're going to try to get that one by itself. And so again, I'm going to put my little note to myself that I'm using the first equation. That way, when I plug it back in, once I solve for x, I plug it into the second. Because if we think about it, if we work with that first equation, if we think about it graphically, and he's a line, if I plug him back into himself, I'm looking at where he crosses himself. I'm always going to find that it's an infinite number of solutions. Whereas if I have the line that's the first one, if I plug him into the second, I'm saying, where does my x value cross this one at? Oh, it's right there. So that's our idea of the substitution method. We're trying to see where those lines cross at. So back to our problem here. We're going to go ahead and subtract the 1 to the other side. Then we'll multiply by -1 to both sides, telling us that x equals 2y plus 1. We're then going to go ahead and plug this back into the second equation. So that everywhere in that second equation where there's an x, we'll replace it with a 2y plus 1. So we'll replace that with 2y plus 1 minus the 3y equals 4. So now we have one equation, one unknown. We'll go ahead and distribute the 2. We'll combine like terms. And then we'll subtract the 2 to the other side. Now that we know what y is equal to, we plug it back into the substitution equation. You could plug it into either of the two original equations as well, but this is actually the beauty of the substitution method. We found what y is, and our goal is now to solve what x is, and we already have an equation that's x equals. So that kind of makes it easy. So we have x equals 2 times, instead of y, we're going to use the value of y. So we have x equals 4 plus 1, or x equals 5. So this means that our solution has an x value of 5 and a y value of 2. So remember that you're writing ordered pairs, and so the order matters. We do always write the x value first, followed by the y value. And then we should, of course, check our answers as well. So if we check equation 1, we replace the x's with a 5, replace the y's with a 2. 1 minus 5 is -4. -2 times 2 is -4. That checks out. With equation 2, we have 2 times the x value minus 3 times the y value is supposed to equal 4. That's 10 minus 6 is 4. That checks out as well. So 5, 2 is in fact the correct answer.